Good evening, Gangstalkers, and welcome to my more in-depth review of Halo Campaign Evolved. Before we get started, I'm just going to talk about how this video is going to work. It's kind of unscripted. I just have a big old notepad of things that I noticed in the game. I have it split up in between, like, pros and cons. So we'll tackle Operation Meteorite first, which is the Johnson campaign, and then we will get on to the actual review of the remake after that. These are in no particular order, but if I spend a long time on something, that might mean that I personally found it more of an issue than other things in this list. First thing that stuck out to me was on the second mission of the Johnson campaign, the Banshees section, where you're kind of going over the bridge and there's two Banshees flying over you, and then I think it becomes like 3 or 4. They do not work very well. They are kind of scripted the same way that on Halo, where if you destroy one of them, they all kind of fly away. But the game kind of puts you in a lull there and makes you destroy them, but it doesn't give you any weapons, and then they fly away after. So it ends up being a little like janky and not too satisfying. We have a couple of bugs with the Johnson campaign that stuck out to me. One pretty funny, and one that I can see that people would get kind of frustrated with, and I was a little bit let down by. So first one was Johnson can fall off the map in the first level if he gets knocked off the platform and into that like little, what is it called, like ocular bay in the center. He does not respawn. My first time playing it, that actually happened within 2 seconds of the mission, and I had to restart because I got a checkpoint that didn't work. And then there was enemies have some kind of issue with doorways where if you cross through certain doors, they won't follow you through. It's some kind of issue with their pathing, or maybe their pathing ends there. And like it does not happen in the actual remake. Like the remake levels, enemies will follow you to like wit's end. Whereas in the Johnson campaign, you get to certain doorways and they just kind of stand there like assholes. I guess speaking of Johnson earlier with his stanchion, you can't use it, which was kind of a bummer. I wish they would have had, like, it doesn't have to be Johnson's stanchion. It should, like, because his is Sophie, that's fine. Why not lay out another one or give us one to start with or something? Even if it doesn't, like we don't get any extra ammo or anything. Give us a way to use that. Come on now. Back onto the second mission, the elite high value target. Now, I know he has a terminal entry from his perspective, but in the actual campaign, he's just kind of there for a second and then he's not. Like, I know there's a skull where if you shoot him each time he appears, like, it is a cool idea, but the only thing you ever really hear about him actually playing through the game your first time is Williams going, "That one butchered our Marines." Like, he doesn't have any lines or anything. Like, why not like how Chaklock does in Infinite, like the "Welcome to my tower, Master Chief. It is where you will be broken." Like, give us something with the elite there. Give us some fanfare. The like brute rage thing is a really cool concept, but it's not really explained to you why or how it works, especially if you are like a longer Halo fan. Like, you might just think that they're being like controlled if you just got into the game and it doesn't really matter. But if you know the future of everything, it's like, okay, so are they controlled but they also get ships later on, and then they have guns in the dojo? Like, it's a little confusing, and then they're kept in vats. Like, it's a really cool concept, and I like what they're doing with like the whole experiment angle of this ship and everything. But it just comes off a little unexplained. Like, they don't give you enough to work with as to why exactly the brutes need to be controlled like this. When in the other games, they're pretty cool-headed for the most part until like shit starts breaking down. What else do we have? The standoff cutscene in general is framed really weird. They all just kind of stand in a line and boogie down. But I don't like. I know a lot of people don't like how they don't just shoot at them immediately. I kind of understand it because I think they're trying to tease Operation Red Flag, where they're trying to capture a prophet. But I think they're like the actual Operation Red Flag, like from the books and stuff, is about capturing one of the major prophets and not one of these minor ones. So I'm thinking it may be a change that they might try and capture him. But I don't know. It like that scene is framed so weird. It's hard to tell like what was actually intended there. I a lot of people have been tearing it to shreds, which yeah, like that's a weird scene. I do like the Prophet though. I like his lines. He's funny. He's cool. But the scene itself just doesn't really make any sense. Um, Getting back out to the Seraphs at the end of these missions, the Seraph PC controls are pretty clunky. It's hard to turn around if you're not like doing your backflips and stuff. But switching to controller, it's fine. It's just the PC angle of it doesn't work well, especially on like lower sensitivities. What else do we have? Oh yeah, so the Prophet gets away at the end there, and it is very difficult to see exactly where and how he goes. Like if you're worried about the Banshees coming in on the ship that busts in at the end there, if you're trying to like shoot those and like actually worry about what's going on, you miss it completely. And like when I was streaming, I was trying to find where it was, and I just couldn't see it in all the nonsense. I think he should have escaped on like a bigger ship or had some sort of um, bigger exit than that. And the last thing I have here is the battle rifle is a toy. It has no recoil. The reload animation is a little fucked, and it doesn't sound great. I don't know what they did to the battle rifle in this game, but it is not satisfying to use. Now, as an assault rifle stan, I'm kind of like dancing on the battle rifle's grave right now, but it should not have been like that. At least give it some more recoil. It literally looks like it's a squirt gun in Chief's hand. Now we can move on to the things I liked about the Johnson campaign. So Johnson's new voice actor has a really fun vibe. It is by no means David Scully, and coming into all this, like I was never expecting that. I didn't set my expectations to have this new voice actor surpass or be equal to David Scully because he is a legend. But for what this guy does, he keeps the level of cheese and like fun vibe that was missing from Halo for a good long time. We got it back with the pilot in Infinite, so I'm happy with Fernando Esparza over there. And then now on like the remake end, we have Johnson kind of keeping the cheese moving. And I love that he bumps everybody. Like he walks around, he taps on Chief. Chief hits the side of the Spirit back. He bumps Williams. It reminds me of that one scene from Delta Halo in Halo 2 when Chief and Johnson knock on the drop pod together. Chief's Mark IV is really cool. There's already a mod to put it into the rest of the games, which is it's strange, by the way they've set that up where you can't use it in the remake. Like when you select a new skin, it that is just the default skin. So I see like literally why you can't do it, but also they should have made that a skin. Come on now. The brutes are scary again when they get that go-go juice going and they start barreling at you and you can't knock their helmets off anymore and they just have like this knight faceplate coming at you. They are very cool and fun to fight. Onto that, the sacristans in general, or sacristans, I don't know how to pronounce it. They are very cool. I love how they look. And they're just overall like set dressing and everything, like this ivory, the worm priests, like all that shit is so cool. It's dripping with the sauce. Couple places that stood out to me was the Elite Dojo. I've already made an Exploring Halo video about this, but there's like an elite training ground and dojo where you can see like human weapons on the ground and stuff from like them trying to familiarize themselves with it. You get like a duel scene where grunts are watching them and you can just sit there and let them duke it out. That absolute vibes. I love that area. And then there was the hunting grounds, like even as a concept, like we get that in, I think we get that in another comic with Artas when he goes into that ship. I forget what it's called. Is it the Infinite Succor? Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that where they go in and they find like a hunting ground that's infested with flood. This is just one now that is you're trying to get your Marines out. It feels like feels like Vietnam with the like vibes of Predator or something, where they're like all in the trees. Especially that one scene where like all the elites jump down with the sniper jackals. Absolute vibes. Love it. I've already talked a little bit about the Prophet of Harmony just being a silly little guy. I'm a big fan of cheese, so if stuff isn't like super dramatic or like really serious, I gravitate towards it more. Like I like that he's like, "Have you enjoyed your stay?" and just is being like this this fuck ass guy. Um, Same with like Johnson hitting it back with like Mr. Monologue and stuff. Like I know it's cheesy and it's like a little bit contrived, but it's fun. Like I enjoyed it. I like it's silliness. I can agree that it is not the most like cinematic experience ever. It is certainly not. Look to Halo 2 if you want any of that. But yeah, like I liked it. I enjoyed it. It made me smile. Um, the music in this is very well done. It's not new music. It is old music set to certain vibes. Right at the start of the very first mission, when those doors open and it like snaps onto that one Halo 2 beat. I forget the name of it. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like that immaculate. Love the song choices or like the soundtrack choices for every area in the Johnson campaign. Williams. Williams is a fun character. I've seen some people tear her apart online, but I think it's for the wrong reasons. I think a lot of it comes down to how those cutscenes are kind of framed, where they're a little wonky, just having her like sit and chill and stuff. Like personally, I think it's hilarious. I love that scene of them like all sitting on a pile of bodies. It like absolute cheese nonsense, but I love it. But her actual like character and like why, sorry, my dogs are barking. Um, like why she is kind of frustrated with Chief and doesn't like him too much is like it's not like a girl boss thing. It has to do with like literally ODSTs and Spartans never getting along in general. Like Chief boxes up like 4 ODSTs right after augmentation. I think he kills like 3 of them. So like literally right from the get-go from the Spartan program, like ODSTs and Spartans did not have a good relationship. So this is reflected quite well here. Chief gets the Covenant Pog and he tosses it away after Williams hands it off to him. I think this is because, or like a reference to, like Johnson not being able to be infected by the flood later on, and then like him choosing to not give the report as to why that happened or anything. I think Chief here throws away the Covenant Pog because he doesn't want that to be used on like Marines and Spartans in the future. Uh, oh, Johnson's missions change line. That was very nice. I really like that call back to or call forward to Halo Infinite because Johnson's been away from the story for so long at that point that when Chief says that now that not only is hitting home for Fernando, but it's hitting Chief, kind of using Johnson's words way, way, way back, and that was nice. I really appreciated that. What else do I have here? Oh, in the Seraph fight, they have like almost like Star Fox 64 faces for when people are talking, and they just have like this static face that comes up. Love that. It's kind of a reference to Halo 4 as well, where you had like I think it's Cortana and then maybe Lasky and Del Rio as well, like pop up on your face and start telling you stuff. Great. I loved that. Is there anything else that I enjoyed about the Johnson campaign? I'm just looking over my notes again. I mean, and just like the visuals, like all of those environments actually in the game, like they have like this eye that tracks you in the hunting grounds, but then when you go into some of the Covenant buildings, the eye is on the displays and actually tracks you as you walk around it. Oh, and then the banished symbol kind of comes from these Covenant Pogs. They they like have like that triangle symbol that the Banished have, and it glows orange like in their chest. But when you get into the hunting ground area, you can see like it looks like a brute team that's died, and the symbol for them is like the red Banished symbol. And I really enjoyed that because now you're tying in the Banished to pre-Halo. We're actually going to get to see a little bit of their origin story. That was very cool. I think that is it for the Johnson section of both stuff I didn't like and stuff I liked. Now we're on to the actual CE remake. Now, I want to preface the rest of this with what I said in my previous, like, not so in-depth review. Going into the CE remake, this was never going to replace Halo Combat Evolved for me. This was always going to be an additional thing that I would play alongside Halo CE. So I wasn't looking for a replacement game or something like that, or it to be necessarily better or like send me back to when I was a child completely and make me feel some type of way again. I was going into this as like for what it is, a new experience, and for like how they are showing Halo off to newer players. With that being said, let's get into the stuff I was not too fond of in the remake. So, the first elite encounter on the Pillar of Autumn, where it like you walk through those doors and they open up, and then like the Marines start shooting at them. It feels way slower and a bit odd. Like instead of his shields like flaring up and him diving backwards and running, the Marines kind of like saunter up and like shove him into the burning room, and it's a little too goofy. Like it's not the same type of cheese that the Johnson lines and stuff are, where it's like, oh haha, that's great. Like this feels awkward and not very good. It's not something you can like ignore. it's right in your face, and it's tough. No health packs. I would have appreciated an actual health system, especially because this is kind of loosely based with like Halo Reach's AI and stuff. Health could have been in this game. I don't see why they didn't do that. I would have liked them to carry that. Of all the things that I want them to carry from CE and Reach, health. Bring me back my health packs. That like it changed how you did encounters so much based on what health you had and what risks you could take. And it gave you a better idea of what you could get away with when fooling around too. Whereas with this, you don't really have like a visual indicator of how much damage something did other than it took like X amount away of shield. Like you can see that something took like 3 little health tic tacs in Halo CE and like actually plan and account for things like that. Another thing would be no flood turning. Like when the Marines get hit, like you see it in the Jenkins cutscene, where they get the infection form on them, and it's starting to get into them. You can hear it and everything, and the elites with the plasma scoring, they're all fucked up. But the Marines in game, they don't turn. The elites in game, they don't turn. Halo 3's flood AI has that AI in it. What's going on there? Come on. I'm praying they're saving it for something else, but like that, what's happening there? Come on, that the floods thing is they infect you. Like we didn't have the technology way back when to do that, but now we do. Keep that in there. That could have been because of the GTA 6 crunch, but like I feel like that should have been a priority. Like, come on. No matchmaking component at all. Like this game is really fun, and there's a lot of new people getting into it. Why not include some levels as like a basic ass firefight or a matchmaking composer where you could search for other people looking for campaign? Halo Reach had that. Halo Reach had like a campaign matchmaking mode. That was in there. Why not put that in? Now on to some of the other stuff. This might be a bit more like smaller, but there's less drinks on the Pillar of Autumn. I made a whole video counting all the locations that you could get a cup of coffee. I don't know if you can get a cup of coffee on the Pillar of Autumn anymore. I was absolutely certain before, and that was the #1 place. But now it's just Goss lemonade. Is everyone just drinking fucking Goss lemonade? There's no water option. There's no cappuccino. There's no chef surprise. There's a hot dog dinner. At least there's a hot dog dinner. but you see mugs and things like that, but like coffee mug implies that there's coffee, but I haven't seen a spot where you can order one. What the fuck? There might be. I will get into it. There is a little extra cafe that might be selling the coffee. We will get to that soon. But yeah, like looking over at those menus, I enjoyed everything that's on there, but it's significantly less than before. Um, there are no underwater effects for when you are. Sorry, my dogs are barking again. There are no underwater effects for when you like crouch your head down through the coolant or the water on what is it called? Silent Cartographer. Come on, Halo CE. When you ducked your head under, it had the blur and like the deafening of the sounds and everything, and like the muffle. This seems like it was just unfinished and forgotten. I did not appreciate that at all. Bounce timers. Why are we bringing back the Halo Reach bounce timers? Get these bounce timers out of my campaign only game, please. Let me wander around everywhere. I'm fine with kill barriers if you're like falling somewhere and you eat it. Like that's fine. But or just like have the map like walk to a certain spot and then there's no more like hitbox or rigid body, so you just fall off the side. Don't put these weird out of bounds things here. Come on now. That's not cool. We all agreed back in Halo Reach that wasn't cool. Why is this still in here? Um, what else? There's no score or timer. Like you can't. There's no like score mode where you can like in MCC where you can see the breakdown of all the enemies you killed and stuff. There's no like timed thing. If you want to do speed running, you have to time this game yourself, which is stuff that was in all of the other Halo games. I think except for Infinite. I don't remember if it's actually in 4 or 5. It's definitely in 4 in the MCC, so it might be on 4. But yeah, what the hell? Come on. That's that. I feel like that's a pretty basic component, but people who are playing this for the first time won't even notice that that's gone, and that's a little lame. The PC Warthog controls. This was like on the Seraph stuff. They are brutal. Instead of holding W and using your mouse to move around, it's now hold W and A and D to turn the wheel, which I do not like. When I drive the Warthog now, I just switch to controller because it's the same old good control scheme for driving that it always was on controller. So that was a rough spot for me. There is no Pozzolo skull or like any way to get the elites to say their original voice lines. I really like the new elite voice lines, especially the one where they go darkness. It sounds like Tobuscus. But give me the option to have, some Pozzolo, some I am the man. Like, come on, where is all that? Oh, and then for my last thing that I did not like was the pulse generators do not rip your shields down. I like what they did where you now have to go around the actual whole area instead of running in and running out. But I think when you broke the last one, that entire room should just shut down your shields with like a big EMP. Because a big thing about those areas and two betrayals way back in the day was setting you onto the back foot and then throwing a bunch of enemies at you that were hard to deal with. It was a pain point spot, but the difficulty of there like was important. And now it's a bit too easy. Okay. We're through all of that. And now we are on to the things that I really enjoyed about the CE remake. And we've got 2 pages of this shit here. So strap in because this was a lot of fun. Okay. First off, the addition of the crabs everywhere where you can just find like in the cryopod or they're in the Johnson campaign as well in one of the vats. One's in one of the life pods. There's one in the legendary ending. There's a golden one on the top of the first beam tower in Halo. The crabs were a good addition. I like finding little nonsense bits like that. That's just silly. It's great. The terminals. The terminals both in the Johnson campaign, but mainly in the remake here were immaculate. Getting to read like the last little bits of what's going on, the Truth and Reconciliation, hearing how like the chain of command has to switch and stuff. It's so good. Like love that. They absolutely cooked. And I will put a side thing with the terminals to the art book and everything. Like that art book is awesome. If you have it, I would suggest looking through it at least once. There's some really cool stuff in there. Maybe you'll find like a new desktop background or something. But yeah, that was really cool. Check that out. The explosion effects in, well, just this whole game in general are immaculate. It's just this rain of sparks and plasma. It's so damn good. Blowing shit up has never felt better in a Halo game. And the debris in this is actually on par with like Halo 2 and 3, which is so good to have back, because the explosions sucked in Infinite. That was a huge pain point in that game. We actually have Sam and Shepard, like with their names embroidered on their uniforms. The unsealed the hush casket being like the code to wake up Chief was really cool. Keyes' pistol scene of like handing off the pistol and saying like, "Get this to my daughter if something happens to me," and then recovering him on the Truth and Reconciliation, and him being like, "No, it's in the best hands," and then like him dying, and then when you're on like the Warthog run in the Maw, getting up to the longsword and Chief having to struggle with the big tank form and then pulling that pistol out to save him, like, so damn good. I love that. That for me is the biggest confirmation that they are going to continue with Halo 2 and 3, because they're going to pass that magnum between people. Miranda's going to get it in Halo 2, and then I think we're going to take it back in Halo 3 when she gets godded, unfortunately. But yeah, that was very cool. I enjoyed that. On the Pillar of Autumn, there was the Keyes impersonation contest, or if you read the schedule, you can see it at the very bottom. They're looking to have a Johnson impersonation contest, and I really want to see that now. That sounds absolutely immaculate. That's great. Yeah, the cafe window area that I was talking about earlier, it has a great window scene out to the like the fight over Threshold, and it's got a little, like I said, it's a little cafe there, so there are coffee mugs and stuff. I'm starting to think that's where they're selling coffee on the Pillar of Autumn now, which is a great scene. That looks like a nice place to hang out if the entire structure wasn't tearing itself apart. Or being torn apart by aliens. Yeah, the new elite lines, especially like darkness, or calling me the unclean one or something. Like, they're calling you a grubby bastard, or like his blood taints the sacred ground, and like those are great. Those remind me of Halo 2, with like, you know, what's a Halo 2 line? I'm blanking on them all now. I apologize. I can't, now that I'm like put on the spot, I can't think of any Halo 2 elite lines, but they do, that reminds me of the elite lines from there. The only one I can think of is "I've taken a grievous wound," but that is not similar. There are lines where they're like calling out you being like a bitch in Halo 2, and it just, those reminded me. Yeah, these new ones reminded me of that. What else we got here? The mission Halo, its overall design is nice and compact. It looks really, really good, for lack of a better term. Like the grass there, the vistas in the background, like 10 times upgrade from the vistas and like the texturing. Originally, that was the first mission of Halo I ever like actually internalized in my brain as a kid, playing it when I was like 2 years old, just driving the Warthog up and down. Like, that is one of my earliest memories ever. So having this recreated in super high fidelity, that was one of those moments where it did take me back. Like, I was a wee lad playing Halo again. That made me smile. Absolutely loved it. Something I liked about the Truth and Reconciliation level was the real-time lift. At first, it was a little jarring that it didn't have like the woohoo, yeah, like jump up. But after playing it a couple more times and like doing it fast and stuff, that up into the lift is fun. It keeps the pace going, and then it goes right into the like the No Covenant Here line, which is also goofy as hell. I love that. That was great. We have a friendly grunt on this level as well that you can save. But if you are on campaign remix mode, that is going to be a random friendly enemy of any type. Like I was playing remix mode the other day, and I got a pair of elites in there instead of like a marine and a grunt, and that was so cool to fight on Halo CE with friendly elites from the brig. Like that was awesome. Marites Marines don't die on the bridge. They come with you, and then they actually make it back out. And even Cortana has a line who's like, "That was close," because they all died in the original. But yeah, you can actually save the Marines that are with you, which is sick. Oh, and they don't shy away from the color purple at all. Everything is so goddamn purple, and I love it. It's all bulbous. It's all weird. It's great. They don't shy away from the silliness that is the Covenant like texturing and stuff. It's great. It's so just aggressively purple. The hunter scene where Keyes slams the hunters together, or slams the spirit into them. Love that. The framing of Chief like struggling in between the two and not knowing which one to fight as they just rush down on him. So good. Love that. Loved it in the trailers. Love it now. It was great. Moving on to like assault on the control room stuff. The Marines calling Cortana cousin. That was super endearing to me. Having like this this sort of like in a way love for their like superior, right? Like calling them cousin and stuff, even though it's an AI and it's not like a proper like relationship like that. Like just having those lines of like, oh, like actually being happy to hear from her and stuff. It was really cool. It was super endearing. What else do we have? We're on to the second page of this. Apologies for my dog barking. The 60 round AR feels so nice. My only criticism with it is that it should have just been there from the start. Like, I like that the skull is right there. So that was awesome just to have it right off rip, so you can get it and then go right back in and have the 60 round AR for the whole game. Cortana's color change on assault on the control room is very cool. I love that whole scene where she like picks up the galaxy and holds it in her hands and stuff. Like so good. And like just the color, like the orange with the green hues. That hit my mic. That was immaculate. I love that. The entire vibe of Guilty Spark is S+ tier. From the way the crazy Marine like scrambles around and starts shooting like a crazy person, the spirit being hung up there, the found footage almost Escape from Tarkov style of the Jenkins cutscene. So good. I also really liked Johnson's delivery of "just do it, Marine." Like he's actually just frustrated with Mendoza the whole time, and having those guys like Mendoza, Dubbo, Vicente all be like actual characters and named in the subtitles did a lot to separate people and make them like actual members of the team and not just faceless background guys, which I mean they are just faceless background guys, but it adds like a little level of character to them that was kind of there in the first game but also not really, and they've kind of highlighted it a little bit, and I appreciate that. What do we have? The library feels very fresh and new. I really like the flood tank encounter, how it just drops down onto you. That got me. It just like started hauling ass. The like so good. Having the like everything actually be floodified and not just kind of left up to the imagination of them like just being in like those tunnels and stuff, or like those pipes coming out. That was really cool. I enjoyed how they had changed that up. You have to do a little bridge puzzle. And when I was in there, I was like, oh yeah, this isn't so bad. Why do I have to do these bridges? I can just grapple hook up there. And then I realized I was playing Campaign Evolved and I could not use a grapple hook. And so I actually had to sit there and like do that. So it was nice. It made me appreciate not having the skip everything button that Infinite does with the grapple hook. we get a Marvin motherfucking Mabuto reference, like a proper one where Spark actually comes down and says some shit. So damn good. I really appreciated that. Um, oh, Guilty Sparks when Cortana knocks him down in the Two Betrayals opening scene, where he has to, like, when he turns back on, he like grinds against the floor to get back up. Like, it makes him feel like a silly little guy and more of like an actual bastard. I don't know, just the way they had him like grind against the floor and just shoot sparks everywhere, like right on his face. That was great. That made me smile. Um, oh, the alternate path on Assault in the Control Room and Two Betrayals, where you can actually get up to that ridge that they used to have all those stationary guns on, is now full of sniper jackals. Um, that was cool. I like being able to actually get over there super easy. It was the first thing I did on Assault in the Control Room when I got there. And then I did it on the back way out, and it took me to my second playthrough to run through the center. Um, or no, actually, I think I went halfway through and then dropped down when I on my original playthrough. But yeah, that was really cool. I enjoy little bits like that, and there's some smaller parts throughout the whole game that are like that, and I really like it. Um, when Keys is infected and getting like uh taken over by the Gravemind, he talks about family. He actually says his serial number. Mentioning Miranda and Halsey is really good for new players because they're not going to know who those people are. So having him say Catherine and Miranda through that, like, that is really good for intriguing newer players and having them like look stuff up for it. That was cool. I really like that. Chief's body language in that scene. First of all, that whole scene in general with, like, you can actually see the proto Gravemind's like Gravemind head in the background. Um, that whole scene is great. But then Chief's like body language after getting the transponder and just like tossing it down and being like, "Ew, I'm done. I didn't like doing that. I didn't like doing that at all. That was super uncomfy." Like that was great. And then just he doesn't say anything. He's just, it's all body language. It's so good. Oh, walking back Keys a little bit, that drop section where you have to jump into the coolant, it's actually difficult now, and it does push you out into there. And if you're playing that on Campaign Remix, it's interesting. Like, I wanted to hold out as long as I could on Campaign Remix mode before they pushed me off. I had to like loop back around to the start of the area and just kill them from the starting room because they push you so hard in that area, and I love it. Now getting on to the end here with like the Maw. Spark still commenting on human history and just in general continuing the idea that humans are Forerunner. Good. I'm glad they did that and they continued doing it, and you actually get to see like bits of human history on the screen there. So good. If they do actually make it to Halo 3, we are for sure getting the "You are Forerunner" line. This makes me confident in that. The Warthog run in general, if you're playing on controller, is perfect. I have no other notes on the Warthog run other than that. It is perfect. This is the best Warthog run in Halo, second only to Halo 3's, and that's because that is like the grandest finale you could possibly have in a video game. This is a great setup, and I hope in Halo 2's remake, if they do that they do the Warthog run that was cut from Halo 2. I just, based on how good this was, having that actually get finished and done, that would be so cool. Yeah, no other notes than that, other than I hope they keep it up, because that is some good shit right there. And on Legendary, they give you barely enough time to do it, and it is a nail biter. It's great. And then finally I have, the Halo 2 tease and the Legendary ending. Legendary ending was awesome. I just wish Johnson would have said more things in there. He's a bit too chill, but the whole framing of it, him on like that lawn chair and like all the Warthog pieces, him just like that one scene of him just like dangling the cigar out the side where he's chilling watching the ring, so good. I'm gonna have to make that like my desktop background or something because it's immaculate. What a great scene. And then him, of course, spiking the camera and going like, "See you in the sequel." That's great. That teases Halo 2, not only like OG Halo 2, but the potential remake Halo 2. And then we get Spark flying over to the gas mine on Threshold, which actually made me squeal like a little girl when I saw it when I first played. That made me very happy, just seeing my favorite location in Halo remade again. That's my favorite spot. That and the quarantine zone with the Arbiter. Those are my two favorite locations. So getting to see even like a little tease of that in Campaign Evolved made me very happy and excited for the future. So that brings us to the end of my review here. Overall, I would say, without the performance issues and things, which I went over in my my previous video, the main campaign to me would be an 8 out of 10, and the Johnson campaign would be a 7 out of 10. Now, with the issues, I would say the Johnson campaign to me is about like a 6.5 out of 10, and Campaign Evolved is about a 7. I really enjoyed this. It can be fixed up quite a bit by the performance issues being addressed, but they're not addressed, and this is how the game came out. So we have to judge it on that. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep playing it. I have about 35 hours in it. I'm excited for the rest of my friends to get it so we can do some more fun stuff and do it on the channel here. That's all I have for today. Thank you all for listening to this long ass video, and peace.